All right. Another question that we had was about a situation where a father is not involved with a child after the divorce, and whether that can turn into sole custody as opposed to joint custody. The answer, again, generally, because I don't know all the specifics, but the answer is basically that a judge still has discretion to decide what's in the best interest of a child. So if you have a parent who is not involved, except on a very sporadic basis over a course of a year, then that could very well be a basis for sole custody. What I would tell you, though, is that there's probably not a whole lot of difference between joint custody and sole custody in that situation, and it's probably not worth your money spending it on a lawyer to do that, because right now you have joint custody, but he's not involved, so you're making all the decisions, you're deciding what's going on, you're deciding what school activities he's going to and whether he's going to get married when he's 14. But if you have sole custody, what that gives you is the right to make those decisions on your own anyway. So it doesn't really change anything. So I don't think it's worth your money or your time to think about going to sole custody unless he's interfering somehow in your ability to parent your children. I would more concentrate on whether he's paying your child support and make him do that, even if he's not visiting with your children. All right, we have another question. All right, somebody wants to know about videotaping parenting exchanges. Wants to know if it's legal to videotape. Oh, Joseph's mad because I told him he can't get married. Oh, dear. So we want to know about whether it's okay to videotape an exchange of the child for visitation, especially if there's been an incidence of violence in the past. And the answer to that is yes. Generally speaking, you can videotape anything that occurs in the public. Like somebody's videotaping me right now. Anything that occurs in the public eye, you can videotape. So to the extent that there has been incidences, maybe not even violence, maybe just disagreements or arguing or ugly acting. You know, if somebody's acting ugly, can you videotape them the next time? Yeah, sure, and I would recommend you do that. Now, you know, use your common sense. Don't stick it in their face. You know, don't be intrusive about it. You know, maybe have a friend go along to do the videotaping. You know, the answer to the question is yes, it is legal to videotape. Bobby, did we give Beverly something? Okay, what did we give Beverly? Beverly, because she asked a question, got a copy of the book. We have 3 copies of our book, now 2 copies of our book to give away. And we have some season tickets to Plano Children's Theater for people who are asking questions. So please, everybody out there who are looking at other fun things like Disney, come ask questions. All right, Deborah has a question about how old can her son be to change his name? Well, that's a little difficult for me because I don't know all the facts. So I'm going to just tell you generally. For anybody to change their name, you have to be over the age of 18. And you have to not be doing it to avoid... Joseph? Really? He's very upset with me for telling him he can't get married. So, to change your name, any of us, me, you, Joseph, if you wanted to change his name, would have to be 18 to do that. The reason for that is that you have to say that you're not avoiding creditors and you're not avoiding criminal law or something like that. Now, if the parents before the age of, okay girl, my goodness, before the age of 18, if the parents agreed for the child to have a different name, then the parents can agree and have a court order entered changing the child's name. But unless the parents agree, that can't happen before the age of 18. All right, the next question. This is actually a very good question, and they didn't tell me the name, so I hope they got something. Okay, I hope you got something for your question. All right. So the question is whether there's programs to deal with fathers, to help fathers with visitation if the mom isn't allowing visitation? The answer to that is sort of yes and sort of no. For a parent who lacks in money, there are programs with legal aid or with pro bono legal services in Dallas and in other areas that will help parents enforce their visitation. But you have to qualify financially for those type of programs. If you can't qualify financially, then the program that's available to you is a private lawyer, such as myself or Miss Sharon or Bobby. Those cost money. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 because, it makes it difficult to enforce the visitation. The good news about that is that when you do enforce visitation, if a judge finds that somebody has violated the court order for failing to give the visitation, then the judge should, I'll say should, the law says must, but we'll just say should, because judges don't always do what they're supposed to do. But the judge should award attorney's fees to the father for having to come to court and do all of that. Now, the second question is, why does the Attorney General not enforce visitation? The Attorney General in the state of Texas, and this comes down from Washington, from federal law, the Attorney General is here to enforce child support. The law says that the state has an interest in people paying the money for support because if they don't, then the kids may end up on government benefits. So the state has an interest in people not being on government benefits. So the Attorney General is charged with the obligation of collecting the money when people don't pay their child support. There isn't the same government interest in visitation. Visitation in Texas is a right, not an obligation. So a parent who doesn't exercise gives up their right of visitation. A lot of times I have people say, well, he's not exercising his visitation and I want to go on a date this weekend. Why can't I make him take these kids? And the answer to that is you can't. You just can't make them have a relationship with their kids. As cute as Joseph is over here, I can't imagine not wanting a relationship with him. But, some dads are like that. Some moms are like that too. It's not just a gender thing. But the Attorney General's office only gets federal funding for enforcing child support, and not visitation. All right. Bobby, does that answer all of my questions? All right, good. Miss Sharon, you come up and talk a while. I'm getting a little hoarse. This is Sharon Ramage. They tell me we've given away our prizes. Thank you for participating, but we are still taking questions. Please come participate some more.
Hi, I'm Sharon Ramage, and let me preface, again, answers to questions that we're giving here today cannot be construed as legal advice. You haven't hired us. But we do encourage you to ask questions. I am a family law attorney in Frisco, Texas. I also work as a special education hearing officer. So I can't give advice or represent people on school law matters because I serve as an administrative judge in those cases. But I'll try to give you a general overview. And my expertise is in the area of both family law and in school law. I have a question from Isabel. And the question is, what rights do grandparents have as far as seeing a grandchild? And this is an area of the law that we've seen change a lot over the years. And it's an area that I actually feel pretty strongly about. What the legislature has done